attention to test 1, 2. Okay. That is much better. All right, we're back, y'all.
You bring me down for all to see. Then switch it up and treat me right.
Oh, come on. Oh, cool.
You promise sun, but you bring rain.
You promise
I still
sun.
love what you do to me. The highest highs, the lowest lows. You take me to every extreme. Can't get enough. Please let me be. But I love what you do to me.
Happy Friday. Cheers. We made it through another week. Here we are.
The misery, the ecstasy, the finer things you keep from me. And then you touch.
Babe, did you try it
I
yet?
feel so much.
It has a much
I just
brute
love
taste.
what you do
A much brute taste.
to me.
There's definitely no Moet. I'll tell you that much. What did I say? I said it has a much brute taste. Look, brute. Didn't even realize that this was a brute one. I guess I know a thing or two about my champagnes, huh? Oh, shine. Hello, love Blake. Nice to see you. It's been a minute. I'm not a fan of the brute.
The misery, the ecstasy, the finer things you keep from me.
Oh, love Blake, how's your Friday?
And then you touch. I feel so much. I just love what you do to me. Oh, I love what you do to me.
All right. Part 2, take 2. I hope you're doing good, love Blake. I had a very hectic week, but let me tell you, it ended so nice. It ended with somebody gassing me up and pumping me up until I realized that perhaps she was just doing that as part of her stick. Love Blake says, do you like Inga Rose? I don't know what that is. Inga Rose. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Are you saying Rose? Do I prefer the Rose? I don't like the Brute. The Brute, it's not my favorite right here. See, it says Brute. Come on, focus. See, Veuve Clicquot Brute. I don't like the Brute. But Veuve does, they have a nice rose. They have a nice rose nectar. Anything nectar with Veuve Clicquot, I love it. I don't like the hold on a second, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just see something. Oh, I see. Okay, so let me just go ahead and do this. They're already getting on me for my last live, but we are going to go ahead and set this up right now. There we go. Set up. Done. The Brute, I just don't like the Brute. I think the Brute, she's a singer. I celebrate me. No, I don't know who she is. I don't know who she is. Mm-mm. Don't know who she is. But so you see how the Brute, I feel like the Brute has a lot more bubbles, and it tends to hurt my stomach. I didn't even know that it was a Brute. It's a gift from our, we have somebody in the family who is what is it called? What's it called? The people that sell liquor? No, not the liquor store, but the like at the big level, whatever. Uh not a wine dispenser. He's somebody who sells liquor. Okay, and he knows how much I like Voo. But I think I need to update him and let him know that my husband and I no longer do Vouv. We do Moet Chandon. We also do Dom Perignon. We also do, for this New Year's Eve extravaganza eleganza, I will be having my husband taste for the first time a bottle of Cristal. Mm-hmm. Oh, excuse. That's another thing about the Brute. I feel like the Brute gets me. It comes up. The bubbles just come up my throat. Just wants to rip my throat apart, destroy my throat. That's only my husband. Anyway, Love Blake. So as we're winding down for the summer, I have a very important event. This will be my number 10th wedding in attendance in my life. 10th. Out of the 10 weddings, Love Blake, I have been in the wedding party 7 times. Let me tell you. If I never see another waiter come up to me asking me, do I want the chicken, the fish, or the beef, dressed in a tuxedo, and how would I like that done? Well done, medium rare. It won't be enough. 7. I've been in 7 wedding parties. But now, as Libra season is upon us, I have the most important wedding out of all of the ones that I have my younger sibling is getting married. Yes, I'm gonna be a mess, I know. She wants me to do some MCing because I'm the performer and all that, and so I will have to pick up the microphone at some point and do some stuff, some type of activities and stuff. She's going to script me. I've already told her, Love Blake, I'm a professional. I will show up 5 minutes before. I have my lines memorized. You show me the blocking and let's do this. I'm not trying to do a whole week of activities leading up to it and go to this rehearsal and then go to this dinner rehearsal. And then the day off, you're on call for like 12 hours from the moment. No. This is my 10th wedding. I know how to do this. I just need to show up 5 minutes before. I already, give me the layout. Like, that's it. I'm good. Anyway, Love Blake, that's not why I brought this up. So today, Love Blake, we had the final wedding dress fitting at the place, right? So we go to the place. I went to the first one and I went to the last one. And I guess there were a couple in between that other people in the family went with her, right? So I wanted to be there with her. So I went. It was actually the siblings. The bride, my other sister, myself, right? So we go over there. And it's really, the showroom is really, really showy. Like, they got little bubbles with a couch you sit, and then they have these automatic curtains that just open up like this round, and the girl is standing there with her dress on, with a mirror all around. They got these little stations all around, right? So I'm sitting there, they close the curtain, she goes back there, they close the curtain, and they're working on it or whatever. And the ladies back there, right? And I can hear them and stuff like that. I have the camera out so that my mom can see it. and my grandma in Puerto Rico. My father hasn't seen anything. My sister's wedding is a little bit different. It's very what is she, a Gen Z? What is she, iPhone baby? One of those things. Yeah, it's very different. Very different. So I'm sitting there with the phone out, and I guess the seamstress, she's like talking, and then the curtain opens like that. I'm recording, and she just looks beautiful. I wanted to tear up right there on the spot. I don't know what. I know that before all of my performances are go up that night, because I have several things that I have to do that day, during the day, and then afternoon and into the night. I will be dry. I'm not allowed to drink beforehand. It's just my professionalism won't let me until I get these things down. And she's scripting me, so I have to like make sure that I remember my lines and the whole nine. It's very production-y. Anyway, so she opens up and she looks beautiful in the whole nine, and then the lady's giving us instructions. It's like instructions for the dress. Like, you got to take this and fold it this and plug it in here when her train is done. When you're done with the train, then everything like capes around, and it's like a ball gown. She looks like a fucking Disney princess. Okay? Here we go again. I am going to, let me just see here. Okay. All right. My sound machine is fucking with me today. It's been fucking with me all day. So, I'm sitting there, and then it's time for her to get off it. So they close the curtain again. And I'm sitting there just like, on my phone. And I hear the seamstress tell my sister, she's like, oh, it's so wonderful that the siblings are all together. It's so nice. Even your younger brother came. Love Blake. You mad, Love Blake? The seamstress said, even your younger brother came. I'm the oldest. And she said, no, well, he's the oldest. But the seamstress said that I look the youngest. And then she proceeded to ask my age, to which then I uttered the number that should not be mentioned for a while. And she was like, what? And then, she said, you look so good for your age. Wow. Oh my God. And I was like, well, thank you. I feel so good. And then I came home and I told my husband, the Incredible Hulk, I'm like, listen, this is what was said to me. Can you believe it? And then when I said my age, even other brides that were on it, they turned around. They were like, wait, what? No. And I was like, well, yeah, what do you do? I drink a lot of water. I'm spiritual. I laugh a lot. I said things like that. And so they were all loving me. And I just woke with a pep. I got in my Lexus and drove home. I was so excited, Love Blake. And I said to my husband, I said, tonight I want to go live. And my husband goes, oh, that bitch got you all pumped, huh? Okay. He said she got you all pumped. And I was like, well, no, I haven't been live in a minute in the flesh. I want to go in the flesh, let the people see me, maybe pop a little bottle. And, I got my pep. I get in the shower. I do my little facial routine and everything. I'm listening to Broadway music. I'm jamming the whole night. I was dancing in the shower. I was feeling myself. The seamstress said, that I look the younger brother is here. She says she don't usually see that. And then we flipped it and reversed it on her and let her know I am the oldest. Okay? And then she asked my sister, what do you do? My sister, she said, I'm an attorney. The other one said, I'm a doctor. And then she looked at me, what do you do? I say, I lay down the road for them to travel on. Okay? That's what I did. I am the blueprint. I am the blueprint. So, I'm like in the, I'm in front of the mirror. I'm seeing, I do not look this age, and I got compliments. And then it fucking hit me. And I opened the door and I screamed at my husband because, I told you, Miss View is a view. Have you been here from the beginning, Miss View? Miss View, we're drinking. We're getting lit today. Did you hear the story, Miss View? Because if not, I'm going to rewind it for you because you need to be part of this. You need to hear what went down today. Okay? I'm just waiting to see if she just came in or she heard the earlier part. Juanqui, my boo. That compliment got Juanqui on camera today. Well, that's true. Miss View, let me know if you were here from the beginning or if I need to give you the Cliff Notes. Oh, the Spark Notes. You know, Spark is another company that try to jack the Cliff Notes. I see. Did you hear the story, or do I need to replay it? You know, you get rights to get replayed. Okay, you're the only one. You and Naris 21 get rights to get replayed. You let me know. Let me know. Did you hear the curtain opening and all that? Let's see. I'm just waiting to hear from Miss View. I'm limiting myself to 2 glasses. That was 1 glass. This is my second one. I'm done. Tomorrow we have a lot of things to do. We have to actually go try our suits, and I'm not trying to walk in there bloated and swollen from having a night of Veuve Clicquot Brut. I don't even do Brut, but it was a gift. So you know, beggars can be choosers. Well, I wasn't begging. Okay, I wasn't begging, but I appreciate. In case he's watching, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate Veuve Clicquot. This, ladies and gentlemen, this was my drink of choice one year. When I really made it in New York City, I want another glass too. Okay, when I made it in New York City, for the whole year, we used to pick, my crew and I used to pick a drink for the year. Colossal Creations ISO. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. Welcome. I should give you a warning. Today it's a little bit all over the place because Miss View. So Tom, did you hear the story? Well, let me reply because Colossal Creations just walked in too. So let me give you the Cliff Notes. Okay, I have been part of 10 weddings. Well, I'm coming up on my 10th. Out of the 10 weddings, I have been in the wedding parties of 7. I'm a professional at this. If I never see or hear another waiter in a tuxedo come up to me and ask me, what are you having? The chicken, the fish, or the beef? And how do you want it, well done or not? It'll be too soon. Peach cobbler, Juan. Oh, yes. We need to do the peach cobbler story. Miss View, I'm glad you're here. If you're still here, Hulk has some stuff to say about the peach cobbler. Hulk, would you like me to ring you on the phone? And I could put you up here? Let me know that. So, Miss View, so I go ahead. My younger sister is getting married, the attorney, right? And so, what about the other 3? What other 3? So, the other 3, the 7, I just participated. The other 3, I just participated, right? So, and the 10th one is actually coming up. So my little sister's getting married, right? And so we go to, I go to the final fitting of her dress. We went to the first one, and there were a couple in between, and then so I go, and they got you sitting in a fancy, like they got a little bubbles with like a curtain that opens up, and she's standing there in the whole thing or whatever, right, Miss View? So I'm sitting there, I got my phone out with the video because my mom is with my grandmother in Puerto Rico right now, so she want to see the final thing, and you know, and it opens. She looks beautiful the whole 9, and we, you know, then they give us instructions, just like instructions. You got to take the dress and fold it and hook it up in the back. And so I'm recording all of that, and then it's time for her to take it off. So I go sit back on my couch, and they close the thing, and I'm hearing the lady, the seamstress, talking to my sisters, because my other sister's in there because she's the one that's going to be helping her hook and unhook and all of that, right? So they're doing that, and I'm listening to the conversation as I'm on my phone, sending it to my mom. And I hear the seamstress tell my sisters, oh, you know, it's so nice to see the siblings here with you. She said, especially your little brother. We usually don't get the little brothers coming in. Miss View, the little brother. And I was like, ooh, she talking about me? And my sisters go, no, he's actually the oldest brother. And then the curtain opens. She's like, wait, what? He's oldest? And I was like, yeah, I'm the oldest. And the seamstress was like, well, how old are you? And then I uttered the numbers that should not be uttered out loud no time soon. And the seamstress was like, what? You're that age? Oh my God, what do you do? And then there were all the brides that they turn around. They're like, wow, you look so good. What do you do? And I said, well, I drink a lot of water. I stay hydrated. I'm spiritual. I do a lot of positive thinking. I gave a whole bunch of bullshit answers, but I got a pep in my step. My little sister, who I pretty much called the old one, she was like, I thought you were the older one. And my little sister's like, no, I'm actually the youngest, the one that's getting married, right? And then she's like, well, what do you guys do? And so my sister said, well, I'm an attorney. And then my other sister said, I'm a doctor. And then and what do you do? I said, well, I was the blueprint. Okay. What do? I laid the foundation for these women that you see over here. So I am so excited. My husband says, we will never hear the end of this. You know what? Anyway, we leave the establishment. My sister's getting in her Tesla. I'm getting in my other sister caught a ride with her, and I'm getting on my Lexus. And I have a pep on my walk. I call my husband right away. Hey, Lexus, call Incredible Hulk. And then dialing Incredible Hulk. And, so I'm driving home. I'm excited. I'm looking in the mirror. I threw my Versace's on, and I'm like just feeling myself. I come home. I tell the story to Incredible Hulk. And he's like, okay. I'm in the shower getting ready for the show. I said to Incredible Hulk, I'm going to go live today. And he's like, he used an expletive. He said that expletive got you all hyped and all pumped up. I said, well, what do you mean? She thought I was younger. Colossal Creation said, at Disney for my birthday, sit down eating a chair because my little sister won't shut up. Okay, all right. Enjoy. Save me a glass of champagne, please. Yes, it's here, babe. It's here. I'm not having any other because we have a lot to do tomorrow. We have to go get the rings cleaned. We have to go get our suits for the final fitting of the suits and the whole nine. So anyway, Miss View, tonight I said to Incredible Hulk, I'm going live on camera. He's like, oh, she really got you pumped up, huh? This woman got you all up. I'm like, oh, shut up. So I go in the shower, I'm like washing the whole night. I got Broadway music going. I'm like, doing my little skin routine on the whole nine. And then it hit me. It hit me as I was looking in the mirror. I was like, and I stopped and I looked at myself. And it hit me. And I opened the door. And I yelled at my husband, and I said to him, wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. What if the joke was on me? What if this bitch uses the same line to sell these fucking ball gowns? Okay? What if this is the act, and I just got played? What if I really look my age, and this bitch is just playing with me? It hit me. And then I thought of times in my life where I had like some type of corporate meeting or corporate setting or fundraisers or galas where I had to shake hands and smile with people and ask them about their dog, their children, their husband, their wife, the golf tournament that they went to, their trip to wherever they went to. Oh, how was this? And in my mind, I'm like, I don't give a F, but I have to do this because this is part of my job. It hit me. That bitch was lying. And then it just like flashback. And I remember because I turned around and there was a whole bunch of other women in little pedestals, and they had all their seamstresses. Some of them were gay men, and they were all turning around. They're like, here. And I'm like, y'all were all in cahoots. Y'all all did this together. What if collectively every day they said, okay, let's see who's the ugliest looking bitch up in here today, and let's pump them up and tell them that they're young, they're salacious, they're good looking. Oh my God, what do you do? That skin routine. They even ask about my motherfucking skin routine, which then I came home and I performed tonight before I came up before you. I feel played. Incredible Hulk says you look younger than your age 100%. But okay, but I know, but could it be a possibility that this woman was lying? And all the seamstresses that were all lined up, it was like 10 of them, 5 on this side and 5 on this side. They do real good business over there. And they will, some of them popped their head and everything, and I was all gassed up. Yes, my husband was right. I was gassed the fuck up. I'm going to choose to believe. I'm going to choose to believe that she was being truthful. I'm just going to choose to believe that. But it hit me. And I told you, sometimes, especially back in the day, people will read me back in the day. You know, because I hung up with a lot of older people back in the day. Just the nature of me being a young actor in a company of other adults, because I was the young role or whatever. So I would be around older people, right? No, nothing inappropriate ever happened. On the contrary, they were good mentors. Okay? Shit. But there will be times where I didn't realize I got read by a queen until like the next morning when I'm on the train going somewhere and I'm replaying the conversation and I'm like, wait, did this motherfucker read me? Did they all laugh because they were reading me and I didn't get it? You know, those type of reads. And that's where my sophisticated reads come from. The fact that, you know, you will go home, go to bed, wake up, and start your day before you realize Juanqui Pro drugged me. All right? Now, this ain't even an opening monologue. This is the fucking truth. This is not my stand-up. I was feeling all good until I got on that mirror coming out of the shower. I was clean. I was fresh face and everything. I'm looking, I'm putting my lotion, and I'm like, literally, I stopped. And it was like, wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. What if this bitch was lying? I mean, because she was really into it. Because she was really into it. And I cannot see her thinking my little sister's older than me. I definitely cannot see that. You know? So, anyway, in conclusion, that's what it is. Incredible Hulk. Okay, I think Miss View is all caught up. You want me to call you? Let me call you, babe. Let me call you right now. Miss View. We have something to tell you about the peach cobbler. But in order for me to do that, before I do that, I want to pour another glass of champagne for my husband, and I want to go ahead and then set it all up. So I'm going to drop the curtain real quick. I'm going to play an interlude, and we're going to be right back. Okay? So let me go ahead and get the interlude. I allegedly got somebody. What the fuck? I just want to make it clear. I don't like you bitches. It's disgust that I feel for a lot of these homosexuals in this community because they're the bottom of the barrel. They are absolute trash. Sophisticated, Versace shades, educated, bitch I'm paid. You drunk off hate, intoxicated, broke line bitches, Tasha K. You wanna be me? Yeah, I know. You a low budget hoe in a SRO. I'm in my Lexus at the Texaco. My license plate say Wonky World. I'm in the NYC. All these bitches wanna get like me. First class flights and VIP. I'ma read these bitches like ABC. I chase money, don't chase cloud. Got big numbers in my bank account. I'm number one, you're all too soft. Now drag these bitches like I'm RuPaul. The library is open and I read these hoes. So high up in that penthouse, I can't see these hoes. My clothes, custom designers, you can't find these in no stores. I get money, my lifestyle is pure diamonds and gold. My whole life is a movie. You just a fan, you a groupie. You clout chasing ass broke bitch. Ain't nothing you can do to me.
For them bitches
Bitch, you
always
could
clocking
never.
me. It's just a
Bitch,
personal
you could
bottle
never,
over
ever.
on. It's not
No, none of them bitches could ever. Okay, so let me go ahead and call my husband, the Incredible Hulk. Miss View, can you hear us? Because he has some story to tell you about the peach cobbler and how that ended up a whole situation. So let me go ahead. Do you guys hear that?
Hello?
Can you hear that?
Can I hear what?
No, not you. I'm talking about the audience. You're live on speaker. Say something.
Let me make sure I can hear you. Okay.
You have to get out of the chat
I'm out of the chat. I'm not looking at the phone.
Okay.
I'm just, talking to you.
Miss View, can you hear him?
What's up, Miss View? Love
I,
Blake.
I think we're on a delay, so I don't know how the
I
delay.
think so too.
Huh?
I think we're on a delay too. I think the chat is delayed by like 45 seconds or something like that.
So I don't know how this will work.
Well, let's see. Love Blake said yes, so. Oh wait, I got it paused. I don't know what that yes was from. I'm feeling this champagne.
Are you?
I haven't drank in months, and
Okay, so perhaps we shouldn't do this now.
No, it's okay. I'm chilling. I think that
Miss View just said Hulk ...
Yes, it's the Incredible Hulk. Miss View, we love you, Miss View. You know, I'm about to get a he shed, not a she shed, a he shed now.
She says she can hear you. Okay, she can hear you. Go ahead, babe. Let's just know that there's a delay, and go ahead.
Well, I'm not reading the chat anyway, so you're gonna have to just tell me.
Okay, go ahead.
Because you see it live. So I remember when we were discussing that peach cobbler, Miss View, and we were reading Wonky because of that thing that he created.
Oh, you don't have to go in that part.
Peach cobbler, but it wasn't. Really
Get to the history.
So it took me down memory lane, and because of you, Miss View, because of the conversation that we were having, I started thinking about my grandmother, and then you know how people pass recipes down and things like that. So I actually, that same night, I literally started looking up my lineage. And because of you, Miss View, and Wonky's diabolical peach cobbler, I was able to so far to trace my lineage back to 1865.
Let's drop a bomb on that. 1865.
1865.
And we all know what 1865 was.
Yes, I was able to trace my family back beyond the what was it? It was 1865. And it was actually a surreal moment for me, because I realized that the further I go, that 99% chance that my family were enslaved in the South.
You said that you found the plantation, right?
I found a plantation, yes, put it like that. I found a plantation that my family was on. I found the little city that they were in. The city actually changed its name 3 times. I found the place where my grandparents were born and raised, and their parents, and I found my grandfather's father and mother. And then, I haven't gone beyond that yet, but I started. So we're actually going to go down south and go to that city so I can just see the city that my grandparents were born and raised in, and visit the cemetery where my ancestors were buried in. It's kind of crazy, and it makes you, I don't know, it changes the way you see things and the way you speak, because now that I actually know the name of my ancestors, like my last name, my government last name, my family name has changed so many times, and I was able to trace it back. You follow the mother when you try to trace your lineage, because it's a direct line. When you follow the my grandmother, my grandmother's mother, and you go back further by tracing the mother. And I seen all the different last names, and I said, oh my God, like I have so much family that I didn't know I actually had before, because you only think about your current last name or the last name of your mother. You don't really think about your great grandparents. So it was pretty dope. So that whole diabolical peach cobbler led to me finding my ancestors.
Hold on. Let me just read what Ms. Ruth is saying, and then I'm gonna insert myself because I was a big part of this. Okay, drop a bomb on that. not just because of the cobbler. Miss View says, we have done that too, straight to the slaves, right? Wow, it is so interesting to know. Wow, nice. That is awesome, right? I love Blake says, is the chemistry still there? Is the cemetery still there? The cemetery still there. So I'm not trying to take anything away from my husband. Okay. I'm not trying to take anything away from my husband. However, comma, I, you know, how do I say this? Let me just say this. I remember that my English is not very good looking sometimes. But there was a period.
Jesus.
There's a period of time, Miss View, Love Blake, Incredible Hulk, where I was just hustling, not selling my body, but just trying to break down doors and doing what I needed to do. And I feel like I knew a lot of nothing. I didn't know nothing. And so many people around me were much smarter than me, and I was just trying to hang out around to see if I could get some. And I just, and slowly now, Miss View, I was able to. It's interesting because this happened all within a course of a week, right? Where I finished the live, I went downstairs, and he was now interested in searching for the. And then he's asking me, "What do you think? Have you ever wondered?" And to be quite honest, it's not that to me. My family is my nuclear family. The girls I went to the dress shopping with, my mom and my dad and my other sister that's special needs and is with my parents, right? That's the extent of my grandmother's gone already. My maternal grandmother's gone. That's the extent to which I consider a family, right? Everybody else, I don't give a F. Drop a bomb on that. The fucking bomb is not working. Here we go. Let me close out the program again. I don't know what the F is going on and why it's trying to harass me like this.
Audio bomb.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so fucking annoying. But anyway, so that's the extent. So, he's asking me, trying to make me feel bad. Don't you care about, I don't give a F. Like, I don't know. I don't. Like, and that's just me. That's just me. But I respect the fact, that there's people that would like to trace as much as they could trace. So every day he would, like, even that first night, he was like, where do I look? And I'm like, every little town has I was about to say suppository. That's why you stick up your ass. No, a repository. Okay. A repository. I know. Not an anal probe. Not a nasty piece of don't forget the lube. Don't forget the loop. And here goes One Eye Wiley showing up at the door. You got 24 hours to come out to these people before I. Anyway. So,
Wait, what was it? I am the B.
I am the B in LGBT. Well, are you sure? We all thought you was a bulldog. Anyway, so masquerading and cosplaying as a man. So, I went ahead and every night I will give him a little bit. I will give him a little bit of information whenever he will ask. And I was like, listen, every little town has a repository of documents, and that's where will we go? And I was like, you will go to the Department of Health and Mental Services. That's who keeps birth certificates. So he actually looked it up online and called, and it's some southern, like, he was like, I want to go down there. And I was like, hold on a second. Let's not. Are they Republican? Yes, they are. I don't think we're going down there. So he called. What was your experience talking to them people? Because it wasn't like a big office either.
No, I feel like we called a trailer, but
Mm-hmm.
it was. They were very nice, and unlike up
Did you
here,
tell them what you were trying to do?
I literally told them. I said, "Listen, I want to find my grandparents. I had to start with my grandmother because I know my great grandmother's name, and I knew the city that they were from. So I called the city, and they had to refer me to the county because down there they're smaller. Let me tell you something. Do you know how many people live in the city that my grandparents are from?
How many?
Like 230 people.
230,000.
No, 230. Period. That's
Wow.
it's a small, that town is only a couple of blocks long. So she said, we don't keep those type of records. You have to call the county. Well, she said something different, but I'm just going to refer to as a county. So I had to call the county because the city actually changed names so many times throughout
How
the
does a
years.
city change names? I've never been in a city that has changed its name.
I think after the well, I know one of them was after slavery ended.
Mm-hmm.
They changed the name of the city because this actually the city, and I'm gonna say it, the city that my grandparents are from. They said it's actually one of the first cities that had a black college.
Oh,
So
okay.
it was like, yeah, so like it it was just dope, and even just
Oh,
thinking
that's
about it
right. That's
now.
right. Now it's coming back. So Miss View. So he was like every day he would bring another piece of information, and because of my life experience, I would say I was able to give a little more. For example, when he said that they were one of the first HBCUs, I said, okay, you might be able to find pictures because I'm pretty sure they've kept records, especially for HBCU. I'm pretty sure they took pictures, they kept records. So that's an opportunity right there. Also, when he was asking about the cemetery and how would I know, I said every cemetery has to have a roster of like where the plots are and who is where, all of that. Although we also found out that plots are only good for like 70 years. After 70 years, they can
No,
dig you up.
after 30
Dig you up.
years.
After how? How much?
After 30 years of being buried, they basically replace. They just bury somebody else on top. They say you only last 30 years in a grave. So unless it's like a historic cemetery,
Mm-hmm.
everybody just gets replaced. And then I was like, why would I even get buried for 30 years just for somebody else to be laid on top of me? That's crazy.
And then because they were I think the people even told him that they possibly were slaves. I said to him, well, there are books all over the country that have, to the best that they could, kept track of what last names of
And
what slaves lived under what white owner's last name.
you want to hear something?
Go ahead.
They were labeled as property
Mm-hmm.
for on a deed registry. They were like they're under the plantation. They were categorized as property,
Mm.
not even as people. It's insane. Like that is insane, and it's yeah, that part that hurt my feelings a little bit just knowing that, and I guess it's like thinking about how far I've come in life
Mm-hmm.
and what they had to go through. It just made me proud because who was it? Maya Angelou that said that I am the dreams of the slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what she said?
Something along those lines. You're
Yeah,
paraphrasing,
like
yeah.
something along that. Yeah, like so. I don't know. It made me feel good to remember their name and just to speak their name and their sacrifice and the things that they had to endure and go through for me to be here on first class flights, making these white people uncomfortable.
Hold on. Love Blake says, Miss View says like cattle, in terms of property like
Yeah,
cattle. And Love Blake says, well, the cemetery my grandparents were buried was built over. How does that even like they just go ahead and build over it, and that's crazy.
yeah, it's disrespectful. Like that's why, like, and the way you do it is they can sell the cemetery because after 30 years and they'll exhume whatever is there, but anything that's like over 30 years they just leave it because it's just dust. Everything, the caskets will
Disintegrate. Yeah, everything is
they
gone.
disintegrate, everything is gone. So it's just I don't know. I
Miss
don't
View
like that.
says, Miss View says like cattle. Miss View says they used to brand them like cows. It is a lot and makes you humble, Hulk.
It does, and it makes me proud and sad at the same time. But then I realized the plantation that my ancestors were on was actually like even somewhere in New Orleans, and I never knew that. So now I'm going from like moving more west, and that's where I stopped at so far because like this is getting out of control now because like my great 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 grandmother was like could have been from like she was the first one I think over here, and I'm like, well, maybe everybody else is over there, and I was like, let me just stop because I need to like get a diagram and draw this out so I can have a clear visual map of my family. But it was because Miss View said something about a degree.
Yes, she put it in the
As we
chat.
talking,
Normal degree is what she
the
mentioned last
normal
time.
degree. When she said that, it just intrigued me, and then I learned what that was, and then I started deep diving into it because my grandfather was the first one in our family to get a college degree.
From that
So
HBCU, right?
from that HBCU,
Mm-hmm.
and he actually had, well, actually, I'm not even sure, he might have had like a normal degree. I'm not sure, but it was just interesting. But Miss View, definitely, that conversation and that diabolical peach cobbler opened up just just everything in my life. Even my mother was intrigued by everything that I found because she didn't know a lot of people. And my grandfather, they had 21 siblings. So, and to see the names of everybody there is crazy.
And the thing was too, Miss View, again, this goes back to Juanqui Pro knowing everything. As he was coming and bringing information to me, and he was like, well, because some of it is online, right? So he was like, oh, but this saying this. I had to remind him, these are data points that are pulling from all sorts of databases. So some of these names are probably not correct. Like some of these records are pulling just from everywhere. So we have to make this diagram, this family tree or whatever, to really, and then when we come across our name or whatever, we need to figure out like a few ways of like confirming that it's
Yeah.
accurate.
Well, you know what it was is that my mother remembered some of the I forget the word right now. It's the champagne. It's when the maiden names of her grandparents,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what helped link it for me because I didn't know that we had that last name. And once I put my grandmother's mother in, those last names started attacking. I said, okay, this is it. And because the male names were my grandfather's name, and everything just, and the middle names were over here, and the city, like a lot of them are from that city in the South, and everything just linked up good. And and I called the lady down in the city building, and I told her, I said, listen, I just want to find my family, and I want to know who they are, and I'm trying to get information. And she just looked it up for me right there on the computer. She
But did
said,
she say it was
what's the
safe
name?
for us to go down there? Is it safe for us
She
to go
said it
down there?
was safe. She said it was actually one of the I guess I don't want to say blackest,
Progressive?
but she said that it's a no. She said it was like it was like a black city doing segregation, so it was majority black. So the banks, the college, everything, it was majority black. It's and it was actually a thriving town.
Mm-hmm.
Now it looks desolate and crazy, but I will go down there.
Okay.
I'm ready to go down there, so I'm excited for it.
And listen, we went to the museum in DC a couple of years ago, and that didn't even cross our minds because they actually had records and books and all that there that maybe we could have looked through.
Looked it up, actually. Yeah.
I'm not so sure now with the administration removing a whole bunch of things from the exhibit. They did that, but
Yeah, that made me sad too. That hillbilly.
but they also because I read an article about it. They also like the endowment fund that they have purposely removed things and stored it somewhere else, and in the hopes that once the administration is over, they can bring those things back out. So they purposely remove things themselves and put them on the lock and key, so that once this is over, they can come back out, rather than being destroyed or lost. Hello.
That's dope. I hope so because I would love to go back and we wanted to go back. Remember?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, Ms. View, have you ever been to the National African American Museum in DC?
She says her last thing here was surnames. That was the name what you were saying. Maiden names and surnames. Surnames.
The surnames, yeah. So the surnames is what I was following, and I was following the women in the family because you know you never know if the daddies are the daddies or not.
Mm-hmm.
But the mamas are always the mama.
Yeah.
Um,
Miss View says the African American Museum. Yes. Have you been, Miss View? I suppose Miss View has been there. I'm pretty sure. She's from down there, so I'm pretty sure she's down there.
yeah,
And then another thing is, I was like, well, where he was on his search, and when I had no more information to give, I was like, well, maybe we should ask Miss View. Like, I'm pretty sure she can give you some good information. Let's see. Miss View says yes. You need several days to see everything, everyone.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We only did a whole day, but we did a day, and it still wasn't enough. It was just like a walkthrough. We couldn't really like take everything in, but we did one day.
Powerful. And listen, when I was in the basement
Mm.
from Freedom to Slavery, you know that exhibit that they had
Mm-hmm.
down there with the slave ships, that made me cry like a baby. Like it broke my heart to see how we were treated,
Yeah.
and that was the most powerful experience. Just thinking about our history and the things that we've gone through. I don't know how people don't leave that museum a little bit racist, because let me tell you.
And there's that exhibit, on the ground floor. Miss View says that she went to the grand opening and she is a paid member. Drop a bomb on that, on the membership. Hold on, and let's give her the flowers for the membership. Yes, absolutely. When we were down there, remember there's an exhibit that is sensory. There's a sensory exhibit. Remember when we went in the room and it was dark, and then you can feel heat, smell,
Oh, the slave
the
ship,
sounds, the light, all of
you
that.
touched the wood from the slave ship, and
Mm-hmm.
and it just had the audio, and yeah, that was intense. That's what made me cry.
Let me tell you, the everything was impactful, but one thing that was really surprising and shocking to me, because I've studied. Studying it in school is different than actually seeing writings and all of that. And when I saw the numbers, 200,000,
Yeah,
like ships that will bring 200,000 a year for like years and years and years. Like I was like, it like in school. And I went to a New York City public school, which they don't. There's no censor over there. Okay, you don't grasp the amount. I thought, and I'm not trying to minimize anything, but as a young person in school, I didn't grasp that it was hundreds of thousands of people a year coming. I thought that, it was maybe a couple of years and it was X amount. But this went on for decades,
yeah, a couple hundred.
which is like insane. Like it's insane to me. And I didn't get that until I was at that museum.
Well, and I agree with that. What blew my mind was how the information inside that museum, they teach us the Dr. Seuss version in school.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
None of that. I felt like I need to take the little ones in the family
Mm-hmm.
after
Mm-hmm.
this hillbilly is out of office and everything gets back normal, because it's something that you're not going to learn this in school. They're not teaching the real Black history in schools. They teach you the basic watered down, make the European Americans feel comfortable
Yeah.
telling about Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks. They don't tell you about them eating us, and they don't tell you about them using our skin for things and furniture and these.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Let me get back to Miss View. Miss View says they have a cruise going to Africa. To
yeah,
Africa.
I know that.
I will never take that cruise. Let me tell you, it's. I think I brought that into the inner. I think I brought this down here as I was telling it. I guess what cruise line? Carnival is for the first time in history going to do the transatlantic slave trade route from Africa to Miami. Drop a bomb. Okay, Carnival. Mind you, every other cruise line has stayed away, because it's not like the highway of the water was closed and now they're opening and they're doing it. No, that line has been there since the beginning, right? They've just never thought that there would be any interest in going on the slave trade route
Transatlantic route.
from Africa to Miami. But Carnival certainly does and thinks there's a market for it. So I think it's supposed to launch in like 2 years. Drop a bomb on that. Absolutely insane.
I can't do that. And plus,
Hold on, the bomb. Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
so I know how a couple of the quotes that they used to say, like the slaves were, well, I'm not going to call them slaves. I'm going to say the captured individuals would jump off the boat because they would rather die a free man than live as a slave.
As a slave.
And
That
so
hits. That hits.
So that route that they're going to be going on, knowing that our people jumped to their death because they did not
On
want
that
to
route.
go.
You know how much bodies how the ocean was lined up on that route with bodies? That whether they voluntarily jumped or they threw them overboard because they didn't want to have to deal with the composition and transit and all of that.
It's crazy. It's the insensitivity for me, but what do you expect from these people, you know?
And you know what? I'm almost certain that the majority of people taking the cruise is going to be non-melanated people. Because they're gonna find it interesting to see. Yeah, they're gonna find it interesting to see the history. That's how they're gonna paint it. Yeah,
the same people that want to call slaves
workers.
I can't with this country right now. But it's interesting.
I have some comments from Ms. View. Ms. View says they wash white Black history. She's also saying fuck Carnival. I agree.
For real.
Love Blake says they took cruise out of our school. They took cursive out of our schools years ago. Graduate only know how to print.
Yes. And you know why I love Blake? Because, and this is what I believe. I believe that they stopped teaching us how to write in script because these young kids can't read that. And all of the founding documents in America are all
in
written
script
and cursive. And these people can't read it. They can't even read a analog clock. They can only read digital clocks. So I think they're purposely taking that out of school so that this new generation can't read the founding documents, the Declaration of Independence, and you know, all of that. They can't read it. You put it in front of them and it looks like gibberish.
Miss View says, I have a perfect picture that I will color for you. Let me pull it out. Oh, thank you, Miss View. Thank you. The cheers is not going. Babe, I am so done with this sound box. I need a new one. I need a new one. Okay, Incredible Hulk, anything else you would like to say before we say goodbye to you from the phone?
Yes, of course. I would like to say, Ms. View, we love and adore you. Love Blake, thank you for always, joining the conversation and being here and supporting Black people over everybody. That's it.
Drop a bomb on that. I just dropped a bomb. A black bomb. Well, the bomb has always been black, but, All right, baby. I'll see you in a little bit. Bye. Give it up for Incredible Hulk. It's a fun time. It was a fun time. He was so fun. I made him buy me a ring, and I'm with him now. Okay. Let's see. Loveblade says my son taught my grandkids to write, not print. And Miss View is sending hugs. Loveblade says love. Yeah. Well, that's tonight's show. That's I think this is a good spot to end. I did an hour on this one, like 20 minutes on the previous one. I was having technical issues, but yeah, we've been wanting to tell you that for a minute. I didn't want to put it on an email. I wanted to have him tell you. But it is good to feel like I was able to support him in the journey of looking for his ancestors, and not everything I said matched up, but it feels good to be able to say I have, knowledge. I have life experience and I can share the knowledge, and it's not just sitting in this dome for no reason. I'm able to use it somehow. All this information. Sometimes I feel like I collect information and it just sits there, but moments like this really really speak to, it was good that I was exposed and that I was able to gather information and tools and things so that, he could do his thing. So, and then he's really into going down there. We're probably going to film it or do a podcast on it. Eventually we'll do it. And then we'll keep you posted. All right. We'll definitely keep you posted. I'm so irritated with this damn sound machine. I press it and nothing comes out. It comes out whenever it fucking wants to. Anyway, I want to thank you ladies for coming through. I am going to be departing now tomorrow. So the wedding is coming up. The wedding is like just in a few days. So tomorrow we have our last fittings for our suits. Again, my sister, I told you, she's a iPhone baby or Gen Z. What one of the way after me. And her wedding is completely different. It's completely different. So there's no wedding party, but I know that Incredible Hulk, me, my father, and the groom's father, we're all wearing the same type of suits. So it ain't no wedding party, but we acting like a wedding party. Okay, these kids, if they like it, I love it, I guess. They like it, they love it, I guess. So we're excited about that. And then Libra season is upon us as we are leaving Miss View's season. I think you said you was a Leo, right, Miss View? Is that the season we're just departing from, the Leo season? Libra season, the best season is coming. We are balanced. We are just, Lady Liberty, where's the scale, the whole nine. I'm excited about that. I just want the cake. Drop a bomb on the cake. It ain't no cake tonight. I'm not presenting no cake tonight. I'm not. I'm really not. Anyway, all right, ladies and Incredible Hulk, thank you for coming through. I do this every night. Every night I do this. If this is your first time subscribing or being here, welcome. Hi, hello. I do a lot of different things. You just have to follow me. Come through. Please hit the like button. Give me a hype if you have one. And cake. Miss View, I'm not trying to work tonight. I'm not working tonight. And see, we were good. We said 2 glasses each, and there's still some left that I'm going to pour down the sink because I can do that. Anyway, I allegedly doxed somebody. What the fuck? I just want to make it clear. Let's make it clear. I don't like you bitches. Okay. It's disgust that I feel for a lot of these homosexuals in this community because they're the bottom of the barrel. Are they? They are absolute trash.
Sophisticated, Versace shades, educated, bitch I'm paid. You drunk off hate, intoxicated, broke line bitches, Tasha K. You wanna be me? Yeah, I know. You a low budget hoe in a SRO. I'm in my Lexus at the Texaco. My license plate say wonky. Whoa. I'm in the NYC. All these bitches wanna get like me. First class flights and VIP. I'ma read these bitches like ABC. I chase money, don't chase cloud. Got big numbers in my bank account. I'm number one, you're all too soft. Now drag these bitches like I'm RuPaul. The library is open and I read these hoes. So high up in that penthouse, I can't see these hoes. My clothes custom designers, you can't find these in no stores. I get money, my lifestyle is pure diamonds and gold. My whole life is a movie. You just a fan, you a groupie. You clout chasing ass broke bitch. Ain't nothing you can do to me.
For them bitches
Bitch,
who
you
are always
could
clocking
never.
me. It's just a
Bitch, you
personal
could
bottle
never,
of
ever.
on. It's not that much. It's not that much.
Bitch, you could
Personal
never.
item. Okay, let's just-
These hoes mad about it. Waistline got a lot of ass around it. Top notch, please go ask about it. From the bottom, but I'm so high class about it. 5-star restaurant, hood bougie upper echelon. You old news, I'm popping. Your room's the size of my closet. 600 just for my sneakers. My flow sick like Zika. I kill bitches, Grim Reaper. You a working hoe, dish cleaner. Fall back or get stomped down or stomped down. Stomp down, so watch the words you're speaking. You don't want beef, you're vegan. The library is open and I read these hoes. So high up in that penthouse, I can't see these hoes. My clothes, custom designers, you can't find these in no stores. I get money, my lifestyle is pure diamonds and gold. My whole life is a movie. You just a fan, you a groupie. You clout chasing ass broke, bitch. Ain't nothing you can do to me.
Ask me if
Bitch,
I
you
want to
could
refill
never.
or not. That's
Bitch,
the
you
natural
could never,
thing.
ever.
Okay? That is not an affluent
Bitch,
man.
you could never. These hoes mad, cause I pop tags, buying everything that they wish they can have. I be on the front seat, you be in the back. Back of the bus, back of the cab. My name on the marquee. Yep, I'm the biz like Marquee. I run this world like Juan Key. Bitch, I'm Juan Key. Don't forget your cans.